Good evening and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun, y'all. I guess y'all saw that little 1-minute video that said huge turn of events, and that it was, y'all. I'm still out of breath, okay? And I've been home for the past hour. Boy, I tell you, what a day, what a day. I don't know why, but when I got up today, well, actually it was after I got up because I got up at about 9 this morning. Around 1:30-ish, I was like, let me check the Joann app uh to see what it says, if they've taken it down and all that stuff. I went to the app and I saw one green dot, and the rest of them were in gray, which meant that the stores had closed. So when I saw the green dot, it was for Novi. I had only been to that store one time, and that was last summer when I was trying to find this plush yarn for an Afghan I had been working on for I don't know how many years, and the yarn was discontinued, but they had it in clearance, and so I drove there to get it, and I did get the yarn. In fact, Jen, you remember that. Anyway, that's the only time I had ever been to that store. And so it's the biggest one in our area. So, you know, the Metro Detroit area, it was the largest Joann's. In fact, it was called Joann Crafts and something else, Decor or whatever. Okay, they had kind of like changed their name because they were so big. They had like two separate floors. Both the floors were huge. It was a big store. So, and you will hear on the film where the lady had said, we're last because we were the biggest store. Anyway, when I saw that they were still open, I was like, let me call. I was like, nah, I'm not going all the way to Novi. It's going to be a madhouse. And then it was already like 1 o'clock. And so, but I said, let me call and see what's up. So I called and the lady answered. So when she answered, I said, I'm shocked. I just found out that you guys are still open. She said, today is our last day. And she said, if you want anything, you better get here now. I said, I'm coming from Pontiac, so that's a good 23 miles. I said, but I'm a take a gamble and come. She was like, we will be closing soon. She was like, we're just about out. She said, but if you want to come, feel free. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. Y'all should have seen me. I got in that car and I hightailed it all the way to Novi. And thank God I caught all the lights because I had to take Telegraph Road, which is full of lights. And then I had to hit the highway to get there. But fortunately, the highway wasn't crowded. I got there pretty quick. I left the house. It was after 2 by the time I left because I had to shower and get dressed and all that after I talked to the lady. So you should have seen me, washer, scrubber, okay? Then I had to stop and get gas on the way because I had a quarter of a tank from E, and I was like, not on this highway, because if I get stuck in traffic, I don't like riding with the low tank. So I stopped, filled up with gas, and I hightailed it on to Joann. So when I got there, I left the house after 2. I got there at exactly 3:30, I think it was about 3:39 p.m. And on the first video, oh, of course, I did we're getting closer, closer, closer. And then I said, I'm taking a gamble here. Then some person, it was a man actually, he decides to just stop in the middle of the road. He wasn't even going to Joann. You know, it was like in a strip mall type deal. He was going to one of the other stores. He just stops right in the front of the parking spot I was getting ready to take. So y'all gonna hear me cussing that one. I was like, will you get out the way? I'm sitting up here trying to beat the buzzer, and he's just sitting there for no reason. So finally he moved. No, I swung around him. That's what happened. There was room for me to swing around. And when I zoomed in, he had to back up. It was either that or get hit. I wasn't playing today. Anyway, so I jump out the car. And so there was a lady going in. She had on house shoes. She was going in before me. She took one look and she turned around. So I saw one basket. There. And so I grabbed the basket and I'm thinking I'm finna go upstairs and start shopping yarn and stuff because that downstairs was basically empty. One of the workers said, we're done. She was like, all that we're selling is what you see right here. So it was where the line begins, you know, normally, and then up to the counter. And then there was distribution items to the side. And so I was like, oh, Lord. She was like, it's not that much left. She was like, but you might get something. I was like, I'm the one from Pontiac. And so I made sure I made it count. Then another thing, I'm so upset. I was the very last customer to check out because there was one lady in front of me and there was 2 registers open. So the one lady was in front of me. She got done. And then I was in the middle of being rung out, but she got done and she left. So I was the last one. I was like, am I the last one? She was like, yep. She was like, look up at the door. I looked up at the door. It was locked. They had locked the door because they closed 10 minutes after I got there. So by 4 o'clock, they were done. They closed the door. The one girl was up at the door to let customers come in, let them know that they were closed and done. She started pulling the signs down. So I'm recording all this. So I told the lady, I was like, oh, it's like I'm recording an episode. And they were like, oh, can we be on video? I was like, you most certainly can. I was like, and I'm the last customer to this location, probably the last in Michigan. I was like, oh, this is ceremony time. We did this whole long spiel. I must have been in there like an extra 20 minutes, okay? And all the workers, you had the custodian there, you had the manager, the head manager, the one who'd be up in the office that you never see on the floor. There were like 4 associates and there was like a floor manager lady. We all got together and we made this big film. They were thanking all the customers and they thanked me and I thanked them. It was like the big kumbaya. No one was sad. Number one, the employees there, with the exception of one lady that looked maybe to be in her 30s, and she had another job lined up because she was telling, you know, everybody, oh, I'm starting my new job, or I think next week or something like that. The rest of the ladies were in my age range, you know, 50s, 60s. One was probably close to 70s. One of my friends was there from actually, we had a White Lake person there, and she remembered me. And there was also a Bloomfield Hills lady worker there she was like, didn't I see you in Bloomfield Hills? I was like, you most certainly did. I was like, that's right, I did see you. Anyway, when those stores closed, you know, earlier, they were able to come and work at the Novi store because that was the bigger store. So when stores started closing, they were employees had the opportunity to ship around. Well, these ladies were retirees, and so they were saying, "Ooh, we're glad this is over." One was getting ready to go on vacation. They don't have to work, and they were like, you know, we did Joann's for X amount of years, and we just hadn't, you know, we hadn't retired from this. We enjoyed it, you know, basically. But they're really not hurt by the closure, so to speak. I mean, it'll be less money in their homes. One lady talked about starting her garden and everything. She said, I'm late starting it, but she was like, that's what I'm going to be doing this summer. So basically, they were upbeat, bubbly, and happy, and you will hear that in the background. Anyway, we did this big kumbaya video. I mean, it was a beautiful, I was like, this will probably go viral. Y'all. I get to the car and I'm like, I see that my video is only 14 minutes long, and that let me know that the kumbaya didn't get recorded. What happened was I was given 2 boxes of bags, of Joann bags, because I had mentioned that I was collecting bags. I was like, so what are you guys doing with these extra bags on the counter? Are you selling them? They were like, no. They were like, you can have these. And the lady said, we got 2 big giant boxes. She was like, come get them. Well, I get the bags, and either in the process of when I was getting, she brought 1 box and she set it down, and then I was doing something else. And in the process of all that, we get cut off. So the kumbaya didn't get recorded, y'all. But no, believe me when I say I was the very last customer. I was there like another 15, 20 minutes. We were just chit-chatting and just having a good old time up in there. The custodian, everything. And so I was telling them about my stick it to the man challenge, and they laughed about it. They said, well, if you didn't stick it to the man before, you stuck it to the man today. So here's the receipt, you guys. And I'm going to tell you what I got. It wasn't much. Basically, most of everything I got were distribution items, but I did get some neat items, crochet. Remember those planners that they wanted all that money for? They had the planners at 95% off. I thought they were 70% off. And then 90% at the cash register. So the planners had a price of $6 on there. I paid like 67 cents. And so I bought, this one, I thought it was a blank planner. And you see the regular price on it, but it's actually a 2024 teacher's planner. But it went for the whole school year. I'ma just, it has the months there and the little calendar circles in there. I think they have the date, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a 2024. Hey, for gardening, I can just scratch it out and put whatever year it is, or whatever. Or I'm going to look on my calendar to see when these days are going to fall the same, because I think last year was a leap year. So I will save this for the next leap year when we have the 29th of February, because it should fall on the same day as this calendar. Otherwise, I can just change it. 67 cents, why not? Then I found these. I found two of these. Grow your own little garden calendars. So I got these, and these do not have any dates, I don't think. They've got the months, but no dates. Oh, and it has tape on the inside, so I can't. No, there's no dates on here. No dates. It's not even, they don't even have the year. They just have the month. And then it's like, what you would call it? Paper, with the lines. So this doesn't even have the calendar squares. It's just for journaling. So I bought two of those because that's all they had, were two. And the rest of the calendars were just calendars. The other thing I bought, they ended up having these Aunt Martha things. So these were regular $3. Let me look on the receipt. I can tell you what I spent for those. Just a second. The Martha's transfers were $3.29 regularly. I paid 16 cents. 16 cents for these. Oh, I stuck it to the man, y'all. And before I go through the rest of the stuff, I'll show you what I spent. A subtotal of $25.43, $155 in taxes, for a total of $26.98. Hold on, $26.98. Here's what I saved on today, you guys. You have saved $436.31. Wait, I'll be Magoo today with the glasses. I stuck it to the man. This puts me over the top, you guys. I won the stuck it to you. I had no idea I was going to end up going back to Joann. When I did that final tally the other day, that was it for me. But the glow yarn is what drove me. I was like, what if they had that glow yarn? They might have a whole bin full and I could just buy it all. Nope, no yarn whatsoever. None. But anyway, I had to take that gamble. I won the gamble and I stuck it to the man in the process. So now I have to readjust my receipt and put this in. I already put my receipts in the archive box. So I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, let's finish up. Okay, so in the meantime, I was given the bags. I got 2 boxes. And so this one is kind of taped, but you can see, and it's 2,000 bags per box. Oops. See the bags? Joann bags. And then here's the other box right here. they gave those to me. So I'm going to put these bags away. They're going to go in my bedroom closet. And so, you know, my goal for the bags, and the lady was like, that is such a great idea. Because when I told them what I was using the bags for, I said, I want to make a plastic bag. You know, just make, and I might I can make, I don't know how many out of those. You know, once I cut the strips, I can make like a homeless mat. You know, some people use those bags to make mats and things like that. I'll probably just use them to make bags. And I'll just keep making them, you know, out of the Joann thing. I might can sell those suckers. Okay. The other item that I got, and I paid $1 for each. I bought 3 garbage cans. And as you can see, so distribution. So I got this one. And you'll see the garbage cans in the film. Didn't even know I was going to buy them. This one right here, as you can see, $1. They need cleaning. And then the third one, which is a darker one, also $1. So I'm going to get these cleaned up. I'm going to take them out back. I'm going to get them scrubbed down real good with some Comet, and those will come clean. I used to be a school employee, and we used to clean the garbage cans all the time. So therefore, they will come clean and look new. So one garbage can will go into the greenhouse. The other one I'm going to put into the laundry room. And what I might do, you know what? Good idea. Some of those bags, I can take the bags, the Joann bags, after I clean them up, and either glue them. I can either glue them around the garbage can or tape them around the garbage can. It's not going to use that many of the bags. That's something I can do. And just leave them like that. Just line the, you know, decorate the bags with the garbage can. I mean, decorate the garbage cans with some of the bags. 4,000 bags. Those, if I die and somebody see them, they're going to be like, what in the world was she thinking? But those bags are going to be worth something someday, but I'm going to use them. So here's one of the bags from the trip. So I'll put my stuff back in this. So this will be used. Then I have those other bags I've collected, no more than probably 10. So let's put this stuff back in here and we can move on to the next. I stuck it to the man. I stuck it to the man. And by a big amount. I have to subtract $26 and whatever the cent amount from that 400 and something, or I'll just add that. I'll add the 26 to what I spent, which was $8.55, $65, $75, $6, $7, $8, $9, $80. Wait, $8.55, $65, $75, $6, $7, $8, $9, $80, $81, $82. Wait, did I spend 28 or 26? 26. So I spent $882 total. And remember, I had saved $855. So now I've saved over $1,200. So I stuck it to the man. I can't reiterate that enough. Okay. Then you will hear me say, okay, I just started picking up junk. Okay. After all that, hold on. Let me get to this. This is for my great nephew. I saw this little toy there and I was like, okay, it was only $1. And this was regularly like $30. And it's called a director's. I have to look and see exactly what this is. It says the game where you call the shots, director's cut. Oh, this is an adult game. It says, think you have the chops to direct your own scenes, lights, camera, action. This is a game. I know it was $29. So, oh, nope, it was $24.99. Let me see how much I spent for this. $24.99. It cost $2.50. That's how much it costs. Let's see, directors, I'll show it to you. $24.99. I spent $2.50 for it. Yay! Okay, so And wait, I'll call myself buying it for my great nephew. I thought it was like a little, toy or something. So, got a game. Okay, now, this was, it said 97 cents. It's a piece of flannel, a piece of solid flannel. Don't know what I'm going to use it for. I just got it because it might have been free. Hold on. Oh, and the calendars, I think I said they were 67 cents. They were actually $1.50. This piece of flannel was 10 cents. 10 cents, you guys, for a piece of flannel. So I'll save it. It'll probably be enough to line a bag or something later. So I'll just keep it. Okay. Now these were the jackpots. This is what I considered the jackpots. Oh, I did get this for my I think for my great nephew, because I said this would be cute for him. He'll probably like this. It was just some little Easter eggs. And these were regularly $3.99. And they cost 20 cents. So these were 20 cents. So, you know what? I might put these in the greenhouse, or I may give them to my sister. I don't do any holiday decorations, but my sister, she does. She likes to decorate for the season. And one lady, you will hear her say on the film, she was like, I don't know why people from Vacation Bible School didn't come in and buy, a lot of this loose stuff that's left over, because it would have served them well, like in Vacation Bible School and whatnot. Okay, I just bought a light bulb because it was regularly $20.97, and it cost me $2. And they had two of them there, but one was bigger. I said, I know this isn't going to work for the magnifying light, but this might work for that little one. But it may not either. I don't know. But I may buy another light at some point. This one tells what it's for, and the number and everything. So if I ever, and it's the letter E, if I ever get another light at some point, then I will just use that bulb. Okay, now here comes the jackpots. And these are little things, but it's a lot. First of all, and you'll hear me say on the film, I have a friend, and I truly do. My friend Frances, she's a crocheter, and she's a senior. She's in her 80s, and she teaches crochet at our local senior center. And so she wanted me to join in. I told her I cannot teach crochet. I don't have the patience. Okay, I'm telling you. I've only taught 3 people in my life, and that was because they had an interest in it, and that stayed. I think I told y'all the story. I taught a cousin. I was able to teach one little girl who really wanted to learn. And then, who else did I teach? That might have been it. No, I think I taught 3 people. But they were each one was a child at the time they were taught. And they had a burning desire to learn how to crochet. Anybody else I've attempted, like my nieces, I tried to teach them. They did too ADD. That's what I said. They didn't want to follow directions. They didn't want to do anything I was instructing them to do. And I was like, goodbye. You will not carry on the tradition, okay? And then I've tried to teach adults before. Same thing. Everybody questions. So I was like, nope. But anyway, Frances, bless her heart, she is doing the teaching at the senior citizens, and she films it, every week, and I've seen them, and they're doing really good. Here we go. They had a whole big giant bin of size N hooks in a tub, and I didn't get them all, but I bought 20 of them because, and the reason why, I bought 25 of them, and the reason why I didn't buy them all, number one, it was just too many. And then number 2, they were all size ends. But I like these wooden handle hooks. In fact, I have one, a size N. And then the other reason was, and this was $130 worth of hooks. They were 95% off. And for the 25, I paid a total of $5.49 total. I saved $130 on the hooks. And I bought 25 of them. So no one didn't want, I think they ended up, I think the lady said they found these after everything was over with. And so they just put them out on the counter. In fact, she offered me, so I was like, no, I'm not going to take them. But her class, Miss Francis's class is small. Of course, I'm going to keep probably 2 of them. But the rest of them will go to my friend Francis. And she could distribute these for the crochet class. I do not need 25 size N hooks. And they're fairly heavy. So here they are. And the other thing, I didn't buy them all. In fact, there was another lady who wanted some of these, and she was in front of me. And then she decided at the last minute that they were too heavy for her, and so she didn't get them. But I bought, I think, how many did I buy of these? I bought 25 of these wooden stitch markers. Once again, these were hanging on the thing, but they were found later, apparently. And so I went on and bought them. And these are knitting. I think these are for knitting. I'm not sure. All I know is I have a lifetime supply of stitch markers. And I'm quite sure I can use these for crochet too. All I need to get is like a little ring or a keychain or something like that. And I can use these as stitch markers. Or I can take these and then just make my own out of them. So here they are. As you can see, plenty of them. Okay? Plenty of them. And there were plenty more left. So anything left over, I know those crochet hooks were left over, and the rest of those stitch markers were left over with me being the last customer. You know where they go. There were also lots of boxes of yarn. All the yarn was sold out, but there were lots of boxes stacked up. U-Haul boxes, lots of them. When I say lots, lots of them. I don't have to tell you where they're going, and I don't blame it. I don't blame them. Stick it to the man before you leave. So one of the retirees said, I have enough for a lifetime. And so that's good. I'm glad. So that was their stuff. So I think all in all for that trip, it made it worth my while. So to end up with the game, the 3 garbage cans, 4,000 Joann bags, 10 million crochet hooks, well, that's going to Francis, but the stitch markers, to end up with those, and my planner, piece of flannel, and then my 2 gardening journals. I think I did pretty good, you guys, for my last one. And it took me over the top for sticking it to the man. That's the best of all. So that's it, you guys. So I'm going to go on and upload the other video. I might do that on tomorrow. Well, no, I'll go on and upload the shopping video. So it'll play me all the way up until I was getting ready to pay for my items, and then it cut off. I am so hurt and devastated that goodbye video, I think that would have went viral. That was one of the best. That would have made me famous, okay? As a crocheter, somebody would be like, you were the actual, and I mean, it's all being, we had like the big hoopla because I was the last one. They applauded, then I'm applauding them, and we just going back and forth, just had a good time. In fact, I'm still searching the phone saying, it's got to be here. It's got to be here. It's not. It's not. My thing had cut off. And when I saw that, my heart sunk. I was like, please let that part be on there. I played that video back and it's not there. It was right before the ceremony. It cut off seconds before we started cutting up in there. And then I did that last video, that 1-minute video showing when I was leaving. And the people that you saw coming in, the lady was letting them in because a lot of business people bought fixtures from Joann, so they had to come pick them up on today. So they were coming to get the carts. They were coming. Somebody bought all the carts. They were coming to get the shelving. The lady told me that the store would be totally empty by the end of the day when they left because all the fixtures had been sold. And so anything that was sold already, we couldn't buy. They had like a sign on it saying paid or whatever, so we knew not to mess with that. In fact, there were a million of these garbage cans, and I got the beat up ones, the ones that were sold. As you can see, one of these is in good condition, but the rest of them have the little split. So I'll either glue the split or put some tape over it. Like I said, I can decorate these garbage cans and make them look decent. Like I said, one will go in the greenhouse, one in the laundry room, and then this little short one, I don't know. I'll put it out. I might give it away to my sister if she needs it. You know, she might need it for her garage or something like that. So that's it. So, okay, well, let me quit prolonging this. So, yep, Q stuck it to the bed. And wouldn't you know, I ended up getting one last trip. So all the Michigan locations are now closed. The Canton location is closed. The lady said that today was either their last day. That was 50 miles away. She said today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. Well, I checked. Their last day was today. So they're closed too. So that's it. I can't go back now. And I spent very little. So I'm happy about that. So I can move on. So I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. I'm going to rest a little bit, eat some dinner, and put this stuff away. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, before I leave, I was tagged. Thank you, I think your name is Creative Loops. Creative Loops tagged me, and it's for Q&A. So I'm going to participate. So look for my Q&A, and the questions are already asked. The interview for him was conducted by his son. And so I will get the same questions and then I will answer them. And then he tagged a lot of different ones, and every one he tagged, I'm already subscribed to for the most part. But anyway, he tagged me. So thank you. I'm honored. You know, if you see this video, and then I'll tag him once I do the Q&A. I may wait till Saturday to do that because tomorrow I'm going to be a little busy. But I may wait until Saturday to upload that video. So look for that. Those questions were some good ones. So I think you're going to like it. It's about 10 questions, and it's all to do with crochet. Okay, so look for that coming up in either, well, it'll be Saturday. Look for that Saturday. So I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye. I stuck you to the man. Okay, bye.